Hello, and welcome to another edition of Tech Tuesday presented by Delta Media Group, where Hal opens the pod bay doors without even being asked. So today, we're going to take another look at Social Connector, or Social Media Connector. What this allows you to do is have the system automatically post to your social media pages on your behalf. And it can post, be triggered by certain events, like getting a new listing or selling a listing, as well as things like adding a new blog article or getting a new review. So we'll get in and take a look at the specifics of it and see what it does. So first and foremost, I am in an account that does not have it turned on. So to turn it on, we're going to go down here to social media, and then you can see that we have two different boxes here, one to sign in with LinkedIn and one to sign in with Facebook. So if I were to click the sign in with LinkedIn box, it's going to open up this LinkedIn sign-in page, and then I would sign in here and follow through LinkedIn's process to attach my account. Now basically what I'll do here is be granting the DeltaNet app authorization to access my LinkedIn account. So we'll go ahead and back out of that one. And now the next one here is Facebook. It works exactly the same way, only this one opens up modal when I click it. And you can see it pops up here so that we can enter our Facebook login information, get logged into our account. Now, keep in mind that the only thing you'll be able to attach for Facebook is your business account. So you have to have or not business account, but your business page. So you do have to have a Facebook business page set up in order to be able to use this feature. But when you log in, you're just logging into your personal account because it is your personal login that has access to make changes to your business page. So that's how that is set up. The other thing to point out here is that we do have a little warning attached to this. It says down here to make sure that you are logged into the correct Facebook account. If in this web browser you are already logged into your Facebook account, it will skip that login step. And actually the same goes for LinkedIn. So when you click that, you'll already be logged in, and then you'll just grant it privileges from there. So there we are. So now let's go to an account that actually does have this hooked up, and we can take a closer look at what the settings look like. So once you've attached your accounts onto the same page, so again under social media, you'll have an interface that looks something like this. So we have a few items up here. We'll go over these here in a minute. For now, I'll just say that disconnect from Facebook and disconnect from LinkedIn would be how you detach these accounts. So if there were any issues or you just wanted to unhook them because you didn't want to use it anymore, you can use these buttons to disconnect your LinkedIn account and your Facebook account from the DeltaNet. Now the next thing you have here is the ability to choose which page's post settings you're affecting. So every Facebook business page you have and your LinkedIn page have their own independent settings as to what they will post. So it's the same settings for each one, but for example, here we have new listings. So with this turned on, that means that every time a new listing comes in, it's going to automatically post to my LinkedIn page. Well, I could go over here to my Facebook business page, and let's say I had more than one. So if I clicked on this tab, it only shows me one here, but if I had more than one Facebook business page that the account I logged into here has access to, or post access to rather, then I would have a list of pages here, and I could select which one I wanted to affect the settings for. So for LinkedIn, we have posts for new listings turned on. So now let's go over to our Facebook business page. So now we have that selected. You can see that I also have new listing posts turned on. However, those don't have to be the same. So I could turn off the posting of new listings to my Facebook business page and leave it turned on for LinkedIn so that anytime I get a new listing, it posts to my LinkedIn page but doesn't post to my Facebook business page. So that's just an example that exists for every one of these settings. So for every setting as we go through here, all of them are going to have that same functionality where I can turn them on for one and leave them off for the other. So I can kind of fine-tune that however I want. It's also worth noting that if you have more than one Facebook business page, you can post different things to the different Facebook business pages. So I could have one that I want to post my new listings to, and another one that I want to post open houses to. So I have a lot of freedom as far as what I post where, or what I have the system post where, because the whole idea here is I don't have to post anything. I'm just setting this up, and I'm letting the system come in and do the posting for me. All right, so as far as how these settings work, for each page that you want to set up or you want the system to auto-post to for you, you'll go through and change these settings for each of the systems. So in the short term, you may just go through and switch all these to on. Just turn that on, and then scroll down to the next one. Oh, my window moved a little bit. There we go. Turn this one on, scroll down to the next one, turn that post type on, and just turn on all of your post types going down the line. And then the system will post every one of these new activity types. However, you also have options to fine-tune those, so how often they post, how many times they're allowed to post per day, things like that. So first off, when it comes to any listing-based post, I have some additional filter settings that I can play around with. So if I click on Open Filter Settings, you can see it opens this box, and this allows me to narrow down the types of new listings it'll post. So if I didn't want it to post all of my new listings to this Facebook business page, I could go here and I could change these filter settings and say, I just want the new listings in Canton, Ohio. So there we go. Looks like I already have county in there. Get rid of that county. So I can add locations here. I can also add multiple locations. So maybe I wanted Canton and Akron. And I can just select those and add those to the line. So then only my new listings that are in those cities will actually post here. And then I have all the rest of the filters, so I can filter this by MLS. If I've got multiple MLSs I'm getting data from, I could only post the data from one of them. I could go down here and I could change the price restrictions, so I could have, maybe I have one page I want my luxury listings to post to, and the other one I want my kind of standard price listings to post to. Then I could go in here and set these price restrictions on each one of those. And then I can also choose property types, and I can even go down here and narrow this down to have certain agents or office listings post. So, for example, and this is something that has to be turned on at the company level, but I could say include new listings that belong to a specific agent and have it post their listings also. And I would just type their agent name in here. And you can see it brings up an autocompleter where I can select from those. And then the same goes for offices. If I start typing in an office name, the offices will post up here, and then I can select those if I wanted to post that office's new listings or that agent's new listings. So once I have this set up the way I want, I'll just click on Save Filter. That'll save those filters, and then only listings that match will be the new listings that the system posts. So we'll close that out. Now that same filter setting is available for all of the listing type posts, but they are pertaining to listings that match that post type. So for example, this one would just be filtering new listings. So a new listing comes on the market, it checks against these filter settings to see if it's allowed to post that new listing, and then uses these settings to determine when it posts, how it posts, all that. This one would just look at new open houses. So a new open house comes on the market, it checks the filter settings in the same way. This one's for coming soon listings. This one's for listings with updated listing videos. This one's for price reductions. This one's for solds. So you can see that filter section exists on all of these different post types. All right, now the next thing we have here is we first off can turn it on or off. So this means none of these post types will automatically post to this page, whereas if we switch it on, that means that all the post types subject to these filters, or all of the new listings subject to these filters, will automatically post through this system to this page, because that's the Facebook page is the one I have selected. From there, we can limit our post frequency. So the idea, and new listings isn't always the best example for this, but the idea would be if I got 10 new listings in a day, and I didn't want all of my new listings to post to my Facebook page at once, I can put a limit here. So I could say post, 2 per day at most. So then it'll post 2, and then it will put the others in queue, and then post them the following day, again up to the limit. So it'll post up to whatever this limit is. If there are more than that, it'll queue those, and then the following day it'll post the rest of them. Again, up to the limit. And keep doing that till it runs out, or until the time frame runs out. So the next thing we have here is the post template. So this template determines the text that goes along with that post. So by default, it's going to say just listed, take a look at this new listing, and then have the address in the city. That's basically going to be the comment attached to your post. Now if I wanted, I can choose from some additional templates. Now in this case, I believe this is another custom template I created, or we can create custom templates. So if I have default template selected, I can go over here and I can click Edit. There's my default template, but I can create a new one. And then I can use these to automatically fill in with listing information. And I would just type those in like a variable there. So I would say, take a look at my new listing at, and let's put the address in there. So we'll copy that, paste it in, and then that's going to fill in with a listing address. And then we'll save it. And now that's an additional template I have. So there you go. So that is how you set those posts up and how these settings work. Now as we go through all these other categories, these settings work exactly the same for every category. So what we'll do from here on out is just take a look at ones that have some additional settings attached to them. So as we scroll down, we can see new open houses. So this one has an option, all the rest of the settings work the same, but it has an additional option to post open houses for my listings even if I'm not the hosting agent. So by default, what the system is trying to determine, or I should say, if this is unchecked, what the system is trying to determine is whether or not you are the hosting agent for that open house, assuming we get the data to support that. If we're getting that data, then it will only post those that you are hosting, not those that are your listings. With this box checked, let's say you have an open house on one of your listings, but you're not the one hosting it, it's assigned to another agent. If this box is checked, it'll still post that to your Facebook page because it is your listing, even though you're not the one hosting it. So that is the only difference here. The rest of this section works in the same way. As we scroll down, new coming soon listings, again the same deal, but it's only looking at new listings that come in with a status of coming soon. Next we have new or updated listing videos. So this would be if you went to the Manage Listings page. So we'll just scroll up here and give you an idea. If I expand listings, we have the Manage My Listings page. If I were to go to that page and click on the MLS ID of one of my listings, that would take me to a page where I can change and add information and add media and things to that listing, like change out the pictures, add in virtual tour URLs, add in videos, things like that. So what this is doing is it's watching for me to add a video on that page, and if I add one or edit one, the system will pick it up and post that to my social media page. But the rest of this works the same. Moving on down, this is the same thing again for price reductions. And the next one we have here is new sold listings. Now this one's only going to be available if you do have sold data, so it's at the company level. If the company is set up for sold data, this one will be in here. This one is looking for a new sold listing that comes into our system. And that's it for the listing posts. So for the next piece, moving on down, in addition to posting or making posts based off of these listing events, you can also go in here and it will make posts for several other things. So the first of which is blog articles. So if a new blog article comes in, you can see it doesn't have the listing filters because they wouldn't make sense here, but the rest of this works the same. So a new blog article comes in, or a better way to put that would be you write a new blog article through the blog in the DeltaNet. The system will pick up that you added a new article to the system, and then it will automatically post that to your page. Again, up to the frequency limit, exactly the same as the other ones. Now the only thing of note here under blog articles is that if you are having company blog articles pulled into your personal blog, and that is a setting on your blog's page, and we go over the blog settings in depth in another video, but there is a setting there to have company articles pulled into your personal blog. When you do that, this will pick up on those as well and post those articles out. Now, an important thing to note there is that the link to that article that it does post to your Facebook page is a link back to that article on your own website, not the company website. Now the next piece we have here are the MCFL articles. Now this one is of particular interest because it has some special settings attached to it. So first off, the My Customer for Life articles, if you are not familiar with those, are articles that we create in-house that are meant to drive a campaign email that will go out to whatever customers you attach to it. So basically your customers will get an email that'll have links to 3 or 4 articles in it. So what this will do is pick up when we add those new articles to the system and then automatically post those to your social media page. Now the additional settings here are to allow you to control exactly how these post. So what we do is we add these articles, we add 3 or 4 of them every Thursday. Thursday is the day we add them, so that's why we start the week here on Thursday. So what these settings are for is to say, maybe I want to post one article on Thursday, one on Saturday, and one on Monday. That way I kind of have a constant stream of these articles going into my Facebook page, or if we run to your LinkedIn settings, your LinkedIn page. And that way you don't just have a bunch, a big dump every Thursday. You just have, them spread out throughout the week. So to do that, I would say I only want to post up to the limit of 1. So I'll set my daily post limit to 1. And then I'll say I want to post on Thursdays, Saturdays, and let's say Tuesdays. So now what the system will do is we're going to add the new articles on Thursday. The system will pick up that there are new articles. It'll see that the limit is 1, so it will post 1 article, and then it will put the other 2 in the queue. And then on Friday, it sees that it can't post. Then on Saturday, it'll see it's able to post again. So again, it will post up to the limit, so that'll post the second article. And then it knows it can't post Sunday or Monday, so then Tuesday, it'll see that there is a remaining article in the queue, and again post up to the limit, but there's only 1 article left, so it'll post that last article on Tuesday. So that is how this system is put together, and that is how you would control this. So I could say, change my limit to 2, and then with these settings, it would post 2 of the articles on Thursday when they're added, and that would leave 1 in queue, and then it would post the final article because it's less than the limit. So it would post the final article on Saturday, and then if those are the only 3 articles we had in, it's not going to have anything else to post on Tuesday. So that just gives you an idea how this whole thing comes together. Beyond that, templates work the same. On-off switch works the same. So aside from that piece, this works like all the rest of the post types. Now, the next one we have down here is customer reviews. So customer review posts. Anytime a new customer review is added to your site, this will post it automatically. And again, these settings work exactly the same as the rest of the sections. Market watches, these settings work the same, but it's looking at when a new market watch is generated as per your market watch page settings. So that is a page, if we go up here, see, I believe under marketing, or actually if we just type market watch up here in the search bar, that is another way to get to it. But you can go to your market watches page, and what that market watches page will allow you to do is set up kind of bulk market watches. And those market watches, you can turn them on for Facebook Auto Connector. And then we have another video where we go through this in detail. But you create the market watches on that page, and those are the market watches that are picked up by this system and determined to post there. And now the next thing you have here is pre-announced listings. So in pre-announced listings, if a new listing comes on the market, or is added, really it hasn't come out on the market yet, it's added as a pre-announced listing, then this will pick that up and post that automatically. Again, based on all the same settings as the other sections. So when you have this set up the way you want, you just click Save Preferences, and then this will be ready to go and start posting on your behalf. So let's scroll back up to the top and take a look at what else we can do here. So in addition to all of the auto posts that we can set up for this, we can also create a manual post. So if I go up here, now this is only available for Facebook. So for LinkedIn, it'll just do the automatic posts. But for Facebook, I can create a manual Facebook post. So to do that, I'm going to click on this Create a Manual Facebook Post page, or button rather. And then that'll take you through here, and now you can select from your Facebook business pages if you have more than one. If you just have one, just the one you have will be selected, and then it also will tell you here which one you have selected. Just to make it a little bit easier to see where you're going to make your post. Now the next thing you have here is you have a drop-down menu. Now we may add content to this here in the future, but right now the only option is to create your own message. And then the next thing you'll do is add an image to go along with your post. So you just click there. That allows you to select from the images you've pulled in, or if you have an image on your computer that you would like to go along with this post, you can click Upload and then select that image from your computer and upload it here. So we'll close that out. And then you just type out your post content here. This is my post content. There we go. We can add some emojis, because I mean, who doesn't love a couple emojis? There we go. And now once we have our post all put together, I can just click Create Post, and that'll make the post right away. Now, in addition to making the post right now, I can also schedule this post, and that's kind of what makes this, this functionality a little more convenient for me. So I can say Schedule, and let's say that I want this post to happen on Wednesday, and then I can even control the time of day. So I want to do Wednesday at, let's say, 4 p.m. So we'll set our time up here. There we go. I kind of did that the hard way, but we got there. So now we can see Wednesday, January 6th at 4 p.m. We're scheduled. Now create post. There we go. Now my post has been successfully scheduled. But that's not all. So now if I scroll down this page, you can see at the bottom we have a section that lays out all of our scheduled posts. So in addition to the scheduled posts, this will also show me any queued posts. So like I had mentioned on the previous page, let's say you had the customer reviews post type set to post up to 2 a day, and you get 5 in a day. So the day they come in, the system will post 2 automatically, but then the other 3 will go in the queue. You could just let them go and post on their own the following day, or you could come to this page and you could see those queued posts here and have some ability to interact with those in addition to your scheduled posts. So these 2 are scheduled, but if I had any queued, they would show up here as well. And they would also be labeled as queued, so they would show that that was the type. And because they have a link attached to them, the auto posts will have a post link. Those will also show up in here. But now, in addition to what we have here, I can click this little plus icon, and you can see I've got an Actions drop-down. So if I just click on Action, I have some different things I can do with this post. So if I decide that I want to schedule it for a different time, I can click the Reschedule Post button, and I can schedule another time. If I decide that I don't want this to post at all, I can just click on Discard Posts, and it goes away. Or if I decide I don't want to wait for it to come up on its own, I just want to publish it now, I can hit Publish on Facebook, and then that'll actually publish the post right away. So there we go. There you have it. Now, the last thing you can do with Social Connector, which is another recent addition here, we'll go ahead and go back to our social media page. You can see we have a View Post History button up here at the top. Now, if I click on that, you can see that's going to open up a modal that's going to have my post history in it. Now, it's empty here, but just so that we have something to look at, I'm going to jump into another account, and then we can take a look at what that looks like when it actually has some posts in it. There we go. So now we'll go down to social media and view post history here, and you can see it loads up a full history of all the posts that have been made on behalf of this account. You can see you can sort it by a few different ways. You can determine how many you see per page in this modal. So if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, the whole thing is set up and broken down into different pages. So I can go through those, or I can show more per page. I can sort this if I'm looking for a post made on a specific date, so you can see it's posted by date ascending to begin with. So if I click on that, now here's my most recent post that happened automatically. It was an MCFL post. This was the message that went along. This was the URL that was shared with Facebook. This is the page it posted to, and if I click on that, it'll take me to that page so I can see it. And then this is the actual post, so I can click on this to view the post and see how it came out. So this is particularly useful for us from a support side, so we can see all the posts the system has made on your behalf and get in and research those. But it's also very, very useful from your side. So if you want to see what the system is doing on your behalf, you can very easily see it here. And you can verify the contents of posts really easily by just clicking on this view post and seeing what it actually looks like on your Facebook page. So there you go. So that is Social Connector and what it is capable of today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, as always, feel free to send an email into support@deltagroup.com or give us a call and we can walk you through whatever you need. So thanks a lot for joining me, and I will see you again next week.